Okay, so we're gonna run through a sort of basic test encounter using Pathfinder Second Edition combat rules. Um, I've set up a sort of little basic area here. This is like a canyon. Up here are this is higher ground, and this is lower ground. There's a sort of waterfall here where this little stream on the top of the canyon flows into this river here, and it turns down over here. In the base of this canyon, we've got a campfire set up here, and we've got some orcs around it, and this is our party. Um, I've made other videos sort of detailing these characters and what they are and some of their abilities, but basically, Lawrence is a ranger, Serena is a champion, Athilwyn is a sorcerer, and Millard is a bard. The orcs are the orc warrior is got the same stats as the orc warrior from the bestiary, and the three orcs are basically orc brutes from the bestiary, but I use the power down rules at the beginning of the bestiary and lowered their power, basically turning them from creature level 0 to creature level -1. Um, and that basically means their HP is lowered by 10, which means they have 5 HP, and all their attacks and saving throws and stuff and damage is lowered by -2. Um, so what that basically means is the Orc Warrior is level 1, then we have 3 level -1 enemies, and basically that should equal, according to the rules for making encounters in here, that should equal a 100 XP level encounter, which is a moderate encounter according to the rules here. So we're going to test that out. Um, I got the bestiary over here. I got the book here. And I've got all their little character things over here. And we're just going to roll with it and see how it works. I'm doing this by myself because I don't have a group right now. What are you going to do? And I'm also using Roll20. You see, I rolled stats for all these guys before, but we're going to get rid of them and roll some more. All right. So first we're going to roll initiative for all our party. Now, you can't see the sheets that I'm working off of, but that's fine. I'll explain what I'm doing as I do it. So in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, initiative works. Normally, initiative is a dexterity check, but in this game, it's a perception check. So we'll start with Lawrence. Lawrence has a perception of +7, so we'll roll a d20 +7. You can see here. And he rolled a 26, which is very good. So we'll set that. Then we'll go with Serena. She has a perception of +4, so we'll roll that. 22, very good. Then we'll do Athilwen. She has a perception of +1. 18, very good. And then we'll do Millard. He has a perception of +6. 10. Knew there's going to be a bum roll in there somewhere. So he gets 10. And then we'll roll for the Orc Warrior, represented by this lovely fellow here. He has an initiative. He has a perception of +6. So we'll roll that. 20 +6. He rolled a 17. And then all the orcs will go at the same time. They have a perception of +3. 19. Okay, so we'll sort that. And Lawrence's first go, which I guess thematically makes sense because he's a ranger and he's scouting. He sees them first. Okay. So, what do we want him to do? He's got a short bow and a sword. He probably uses bow. I want him... I'm going to take a look at the ranger section. I want to look at his hunt prey ability. I want to see how that works. Here we go. Okay, hunt prey is an action, and you designate a single creature as your prey and focus your attacks against that creature. Okay. So what I will do, well, let's see, what's the range of his short bow? There it is. No, it's not. I've got equipment somewhere. There it is. No, that's not it. Okay. I don't have equipment marked, apparently. I thought I did. Oh, I do. Haha. So, alright. Bear with me here. Short bow. Short bow. Short bow. What's the range? 60 feet. So, all that to say, he's probably in range. Yeah. He'll move up just a little bit, though, just for the sake of it. So that's his move action, his stride action, they call it. That's one of his 3 actions. So he's got 2 left. With the second one, he shall mark the orc warrior. So we'll go ahead and, just for the sake of it, we'll give him one of these. So that's second action. He's got 1 action left. He's got an ability called Hunted Shot, which as long as he is wielding a ranged weapon with reload 0, which he is, he can take 2 quick shots against the one he has marked as hunted, with all the normal penalties. It's just, instead of attacking twice, taking 2 actions with this ability, it only takes 1. So he moved, marked, and will attack. So his first attack is normal. It's got a +5 to attack. Which he botched. So he doesn't hit. He gets his second hunted shot attack, which he makes at a -5 penalty, because it's his second attack in the turn, which is just a base d20 roll. 16, which does not hit, unfortunately. His turn is done. So now it's Serena's go. Serena has no long-range attacks. She wants to be close range pretty much at all times. She's got a sword and a shield. So she's going to try to close the distance. She can move 25 feet. This river is difficult terrain because it's a fast-moving river. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's as far as she can go in one move. She'll have to take a second one if she wants to cross the river, which she will. 5, 10, 15, 20. No, she'll just stay there. And then for her third action, so she moved 1 move, a second move, and then for her third action, she'll raise her shield. So she's got a wooden shield, and that raises her AC by 2. So her AC is normally 16, now it becomes 18. So that's her go. And now it's the orcs. They will, I think two of them will go after her and one of them will cross the river and go after him. This one is gonna cross the river and go after him. So I'll go 5, 10, 15, 25. What's their movement? Probably 25. Yeah, it is. So we'll take a second one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. You can get up to him. And, okay, he'll attack Lawrence. And then these two, 5, 10, 15, 20. There. He's got to move around the fire. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Go ahead and take 2 moves. So you can get up close, because since you can just go ahead, the way I figure it, since you can take 2 moves and then have a third attack, I don't know why you wouldn't just close the distance. You don't get a second attack, but I don't really see that taking too much. So this guy took 2 attacks, so he gets 1 hit at Lawrence. This orc 3 gets 2 attacks at Serena, and orc 2 gets 1 attack at Serena. So we'll start with orc 1 attacking Lawrence. He is going to attack with his orc knuckle dagger, which is 20 plus 5. Rolled an 18, which hits, I think. Yes, Lawrence's AC is only 16. So that does 1d6 plus 1 damage. 6 plus 1. It's 2 damage, minimal damage. So we'll take 2 HP away from him. Orc 2 will get his 1 attack, which is the same thing. 1d20 plus 5. 11, which doesn't hit. And then Orc 3 gets 2 attacks. So 1d20 plus 5. 19. That does hit, even with her raised shield. And then 1d20 plus nothing for his second one. 11, which doesn't hit. So Serena's got an ability called shield block, I think. I think that's what the feat is called. Yeah, shield block. I think I'm gonna use. I'm not really entirely sure how it works, so let's take a look at it. I know you can use it if once you've raised your shield, you can use it as a reaction if you get hit, even when you've got your shield raised. So let's see what it does. All right. Shield block. Yeah. You snap your shield in place to ward off a blow. Your shield prevents you from taking an amount of damage up to the shield's hardness. You and the shield each take any remaining damage, possibly breaking or destroying the shield. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do that. So, he hit once, so he'll roll his 1d6 plus 1 damage. He rolled minimal damage again. So, what is the shield's hardness? Wooden shield. It's probably more than 2. I would hope. Yeah, it's got a hardness of 3. So I'm right now I'm trying to make sure that I don't need to keep track of that. Okay, I'm just gonna, all right. For right now, I'm just gonna rule that the damage doesn't carry over. What I mean is the wooden shield has 3 hardness, and so if it took it took 2 damage, which would reduce it to 1 hardness. But I'm not gonna say that it has 1 hardness. I'm gonna say that if that happens again, it has 3 hardness again, and that it only matters if it breaks that 3 hardness and then breaks the damage threshold. So 2 damage. She reduces the damage by 3, so she doesn't take any damage, which is great. So now it's Athilwen's go. Um, she will. She's got a pretty cool ability. Um, Somewhere. I think it's. Grim Tendrils. It's called. I think that's what I want. Let me see. Yes. Tendrils of darkness curl out from your fingertips and race through the air. You deal 2d4 negative damage and 1 persistent bleed damage to living creatures in the line. And it's a 30-foot line, and they must do a fortitude save. So I want to try to hit these two in the nice little line. It's a 30-foot line, which means she can be there and be good. So we'll move. She can move 30 feet, so we'll move her 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that should be good. Oh, she needs to move. Where was she? She was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30. It's fine. Good. So she can go do it like that. She doesn't have to worry about getting an attack of opportunity because this orc doesn't have that ability. Only the orc warrior does. So this orc doesn't get a reaction attack. But Athilwen will use her Grim Tendrils spell to hit these 2 orcs. They have to make a fortitude save. Her spell save DC is 16. So their fortitude is +4. So let's give it a go. For orc 2, 18 makes it. 21 makes it. Okay. That's a bummer. But it does things on a success. The creature takes half the negative damage and no persistent bleed damage. So we'll roll a d4. I think it's just 1 roll for each. Yeah, it's just 1 roll for each. So we'll roll 2d4. 4. So they each take 2 damage. These guys only have 5 HP. It doesn't take much to kill them, but as we can see, it sometimes doesn't work out. And so that's one of her first level spells done. She gets 3 of them. And that was her move, and her spell takes 2 actions. So that's all she can do. Now it's the Orc Warrior's turn. He is currently marked by Lawrence. That doesn't do anything to him, I don't think. Let me check. I know that in some games, when you're marked, you have to attack the person that marked you. But I'm not sure if it's that way in this game. Let me check. No, it doesn't look like it. So it wants to try to attack Serena. Um, or doesn't want to try to attack Athilwen, because she did magic. It wants to try to attack Athilwen. So it can 5, 10, 15. What's his move? 25? Yeah. And there. So it can get into flanking with this orc here with 2 moves. So it gets 1 attack. It will use his short sword, which is a +7. 22. And that hits. It's important to note that in this game, in flanking in this game, since the Thilwen's being flanked, the orcs don't get a bonus to their attack. Thilwen takes a penalty to her AC. It doesn't matter anyway because he rolled a 22, which would have hit regardless. So he'll do damage. He will do 1d6 plus 4 damage. Which is max. Jesus! Yeah, and it's important to know that all the player characters are level 1. So he dealt max damage, and she's not doing very well. She needs help real bad. But luckily, it's Millard's turn. Millard is a bard. He's got the Soothe spell, which is a healing spell. I believe it's a ranged spell. I think it's got a range of 30. I'll double check, though. Yeah, it's got a range of 30. So I think she's in range just where he is. Yeah, she's just in range. He'll step a bit closer. And actually, no. I need to get out of the habit of just saying people step closer because that takes up a whole action. And he might have other things he can do. I want to take a real quick look at his focus spells. He's got, Inspire Courage and Lingering Composition. So he can actually, in this turn, Soothe is 2 actions. So we can just cast that on her. So she'll heal 1d10 plus 4. 1d10 plus 4. She'll heal 13. I want to make sure he's back where he was originally. Yeah, he is. So she just goes back to max. So that's his 2 actions. His focus spell, Lingering Composition, allows him to make a performance check, and the DC is a standard difficulty DC. And if he makes the DC, then the next... it's a free action to do this. If he makes the DC, the next focus spell he casts lasts for a longer amount of rounds, determined by how well he rolls. So he makes a performance check. His performance is +6. We'll say he sings. He goes, yeah, like that. 10. Yeah, that... I don't know what the DCs are in this book, but I'd say 10 is just a standard DC. So I'd say that works. So he succeeds, which means that the composition lasts 3 rounds. So he'll cast Inspire Courage, which gives... It's 60 foot around him, gives him and his allies +1 to attack, damage rolls, and saves against fear. So everyone's got Inspire Courage for 3 rounds. I'm going to go ahead and draw some markers to make sure I don't forget that. So now it's Lawrence's turn. He's got Orc Warrior marked. he'll stay where he is and fire some bows at him. Yeah. He'll do does he want to do his double shot thing again? I don't see why not. I'm just going back to the page where it is. Yeah, I don't see why not. Why he wouldn't. So he'll do one attack. So he's using his hunted shot ability, which allows him to make 2 attacks with 1 action. So his first attack is 1d20 plus 5, which is an 8, which misses. And his second attack is a flat d20, which botches. He's doing a very good showing when his friend is in danger. That's great. So that's his first action with 2 attacks. He'll take a second attack action, I guess, which puts him at a -5, because the third attack in a turn is a -10. $11. It's a fine roll, but it doesn't hit. Now here's a question that I don't know the answer to. I guess he could technically attack again, a 4th attack, because his hunted shot ability gave him the book only lists things for 3 attacks, but his hunted shot ability gives him 2 attacks in 1 action. So he could try to attack again, but theoretically that would be at a -15. So I'm pretty sure the only way he'd hit is if he rolled a natural 20. But I mean, he's got nothing else he can really do. So we'll try it. -15, so that ends up being a -10. He rolled really close to a natural 20. That's upsetting, actually. But it doesn't hit. His turn is done. Oh, shit! All those attacks are at +1 because of Inspire Courage. So it wouldn't matter, though. When did they start? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. He rolled so shitty that none of it matters. None of them would have hit. Okay. But Serena will hit these 2 orcs, probably will hit them, and will definitely kill them. So she +6 to attack. It's actually a +7 because of Inspire Courage. 20, that hits. Does 1d8 plus... Normally it's +3, but because of Inspire Courage, it's +4. 8, yeah, that kills this one. And she'll go ahead and make a second attack on the third orc at +2, which doesn't hit. This is really... okay. I'm not rolling well. So she'll do a third attack, which would be at -10. So -3, I think? I think that's right. Nope. Even with their shitty AC, that doesn't hit. Okay. Now it's the orc's turn. Since Okay, this orc, he's still alive. He will attack a Thilwen since she's in flanking with the orc warrior, and this orc will continue to attack Serena. I get the feeling she's not long for this world. Although with how shitty I've been rolling, we'll see if that transfers to the enemies. So 1d20 plus 5 for this orc. 11. That doesn't hit. He'll take a second attack at 1d20, which doesn't hit. And he'll take a third attack at 1d20 minus 5, which doesn't hit. Even with her flanking armor class, that doesn't hit. But the third orc will go for a round of attacks on Serena. 1d20 plus 5, which hits. And then he'll do a second attack at 1d20, which doesn't hit. And he'll do a third attack at minus 5, which doesn't hit. So he hits her once. It's noted that Serena didn't raise her shield last turn, so she doesn't have her shield bonus to AC, but it doesn't matter. He rolled a 24, which is amazing. So we'll do 1d6 plus 1 damage to Serena. 4 damage. She takes. That's her health. And that ends the orc's turn. This orc didn't do anything. This orc hit once. Now it's the Thilwen's go. She's in a tough spot. She will step out of flanking, which this orc warrior has the attack of opportunity reaction, but because she just took a step, it doesn't get triggered. She will use another spell. She's got a spell called Phantom Pain, which is a wonderful spell. Kind of dodgy game, but a wonderful spell. Just getting it up here. I really like it. Here we go, Phantom Pain. Lasts for 1 minute. Illusory pain racks the target, dealing 2d4 mental damage and 1d4 persistent mental damage. The target must make a will save. So the Orc Warrior's will save is +4, and we said her spell DC is 16. So we'll roll 1d20 plus 4. Okay. So on a critical success, nothing happens. Good. Good, good. That took 2 actions, so we're moving 2 actions, so she's sitting there with her dick in her hands. Figuratively speaking. So that's a second first level spell. She's only got 1 of those left. And now it's the Orc Warrior's go. And he's not happy. So he moves. He's got to use one of his actions to move, though. So he can only get 2 attacks on her, but he will take them, because she just tried to cast a spell and fuck with his mind, and he doesn't like that. So 1d20 plus 7, 24, that hits. And he'll take a second one, plus 2, which doesn't hit. So he only hits once. Could have been worse. 1d6 plus 4. Oh, shit. It looks like he will have to use his last first level spell to heal her again. Um, is was that one action or two? It's two. Okay. So yeah, he has no choice. He has to do it, unless she's gonna die, because no one's hitting this motherfucker. So 10, she gets healed, so she's at max. And he can't really do anything else. Um, he can try to move a little bit closer. He'll move up and threaten this orc warrior because he's got a sword. And he doesn't have any first levels, he doesn't have any spells anymore, so he can't really do anything from a distance anyway. Well, he's got cantrips, but whatever. And one round of Inspire Courage is gone. So now Lawrence will go. He will he'll he'll drop his bow, and no, he won't. I was gonna say he could drop his bow and draw his sword, but drawing his sword would be an action. Dropping his bow is free, and then he'd have to move up, and that would only give him one attack. But if he stayed here and used the sword, he could potentially get more attacks. He rolled like shit the last time. But I guess he'll stay here and try to get more attacks with his bow. Keeping in mind the Inspire Courage bonus, he gets a +6 to attack. +19, which hits. And he'll use his Hunted Shot ability, which lets him do a second attack in one action at +1, which doesn't hit, so he hits it once. So he deals normal short bow damage is 1d6. He adds a +1 to that because of Inspire Courage. So 1d6 +1 is 3. And he has an ability called Precision, which when he hits a hunted prey, he deals 1d8 of extra damage to it. So he'll go ahead and deal an extra d8 on top of that. 8. So now this guy is half. So he'll go ahead and attack again at a -10, which becomes -4, which doesn't. That was a great roll, but it doesn't hit. And I guess he'll go ahead and try to attack again at a -15, just on the off chance of a crit. I'm just gonna go +6, -15. Yeah, doesn't hit. So she's over here. She'll go ahead and attack Orc 3 with +7. Oh my god, this is pissing me off. Do it again. +2. You know, all my good initiative rolls. That's what happens when you roll good initiative. You roll shit in the fight. Try it again. -3. Doesn't hit. Okay. The orcs go. Orc 3 will attack Serena again. And this orc will attack Lawrence this time. So we have 1d20 plus 5 against Lawrence. 24, that hits. 1d20 against Lawrence for the second attack. That misses. And 1d20 minus 5, which doesn't hit. So Lawrence is hit once. That's 1d6 plus 1 damage. 3 damage to him. And Orc 3 will take a full 3 attacks at Serena. 1d20 plus 5. That misses. 1d20. That misses. And then 1d20 minus 5, which misses. I've realized now that the orcs have the ferocity ability, which means when they get knocked down to 0 HP, they come back at 1. But this guy, I already made this guy die, so I'm just going to ignore that. Ethil Wen. She's going to stay where she is and attempt... She'll try... She's only got 1 spell left. She's used 2 of her 3 spells. She's got 1 spell that she knows that she hasn't used, so I think she'll go ahead and use it. It's a spell called Spider Sting. And it is a touch spell, so she can use it touching him. So you deal 1d4 piercing damage to the touch creature and inflict it with spider venom. And must succeed on a fortitude saving throw. I don't actually know if I wanted to do that. I think I just wanted to do Phantom Pain again, because that has the potential to do way more damage, which is basically what I want right now. So yeah, she'll do Phantom Pain again. The Orc Warrior will make a will save, plus 4, which he critically fails. So he critically succeeded last time, and this time he critically failed, which is bad, because that means something bad happens. Okay, so he takes 2d4 mental damage. Takes 5 damage. And he takes... Well, he'll take 1d4 persistent mental damage on each of his turns until he saves. So we'll mark that with this. But he's sickened, and since he critically failed, he's sickened level 2. So we'll take a look at what sickened means. I think it just means that he takes a penalty to his checks. Sickened. Take a status penalty equal to this value on all your checks and DCs. Yeah. Okay. So he's sickened level 2. So he takes a -2 penalty to all of his stuff. So now it's his turn. The condition says that you can, as an action, attempt a fortitude save against the DC of whatever made you sickened on your turn as an action, like just retching and coughing to try and get rid of the condition. So he'll go ahead and do that. Well, it doesn't get rid of the condition. It makes it one less. So he'll go from 6. So let's give him his fortitude save first. His fortitude is +8. So he'll probably succeed unless he rolls really bad. Yeah, he succeeds. So he's now sicken level 1. And he'll go ahead and try to do it again. He'll waste 2 actions, which he succeeds. So he's no longer sickened, but he's wasted 2 actions. And he will, with his final action, he'll attempt to attack Athilwen. +7, which I believe that misses. Yeah, that misses. Good to know. And now he takes 1d4 persistent mental damage because of phantom pain. That lasts for 1 minute. He takes 3 damage. And he rolls a flat d20. And if he gets above a 15, then the persistent damage ends. He doesn't. It's Millard's turn. He will use his rapier and attack. Yeah. +5. Which hits. I'll have him roll damage because that might kill him. 1d6 +1 damage. 5. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. So he's got 2 actions left. He will 5, 10, 15, 20, move here, and attack. Use his third action to attack this orc in flanking with a flat d20 because of the -5 penalty. Doesn't hit. Okay, now Lawrence will drop his bow and draw his elven greatsword. Or his elven curve blade. It's a 2-handed sword, but it only does d8 damage. I don't understand. And he'll attack the orc. 1d20 plus... Okay, actually, first, before I do that, we gotta take away 1 round of Inspire. Actually, did I forget to do... I think I forgot to do that a second time. I don't remember. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's gone. I don't remember. 1d20 +5. Was it +5 for Lawrence? Yeah. 17, that hits. And that does 1d8 +2 damage. There's 8 damage, which kills the orc. Wow. And he'll pick up his bow for his third action, whatever. Serena's go. She'll attempt to kill Orc 3 with 1d20 +6 with her sword. She hits, so she does 1d8 +3, which is minimum damage, but it's enough to kill it. Okay. And according to the rules, every player would get 100 experience from that encounter. Now, let's think about that for a second. Going along with the fact, taking into account the fact that I forgot to use the orc's special ability to make them come back to life when they die, which, granted, is rather important, but it's fine. Um, According to the rules, the level that encounter was a moderate threat that the players will likely overcome having all their abilities and powers, but they would need good tactics and teamwork, and they would need a bit of luck. Which I think, as we just saw, is demonstrated. They had the power at all times to completely. They could have ended that encounter in one round, had they rolled well. They had the ability to do that. But because of the randomness of the dice and how everything worked out, it went on a lot longer. Ithilwen was in danger of dying a couple times. Millard had to use his 2 spells to heal her both times. And Ithilwen could have ended the Orc Warrior a lot earlier had he not critically succeeded on his saving throw for the spell. So, yeah, I think that tells me a lot about how the game works, the sort of seeing the rules in action, and it tells me a lot about how encounters are likely to work, and that the sort of base encounter building advice they give in the book seems to work. I think, yeah, she's at full, he took some damage, he's at full, she took some damage, but like a Night of Rest it wouldn't heal them up to full, but they would be pretty close to full. And so they could probably go into another encounter the next day. So here's the thing, though, with it being a moderate encounter. If this was like the only encounter they did in a day, then that would be fine. Like if the next day they had another encounter that was about this level of difficulty, they could probably handle it. But if there's like a cave in here and there's like more encounters inside, then they're significantly weakened. Neither of them have any first level spells, and so they'd just be relying on their own abilities. He's got a melee weapon and cantrips that he can use. She's got cantrips too. She's got a dagger, but she doesn't want to be in melee. So they'd both be just stuck with their cantrips. They would probably be all right, but if they took any serious damage, then they need to get out of there quick. So yeah, that showed me a lot. And yeah, I hope you got something out of this too.